Hello, everybody. This is Doreen Burtz, and we're just talking about our thoughts. Sometimes we just don't do those things, and I just want to take time out. There's so many kids committing suicide, and people are saying, "Are we paying attention? How did they do this? What happened? Something's wrong at home." But actually, suicide is a self thing. It's not other people. And a lot of times, even when I was younger, you would say, "How did she leave her children? What was she thinking?" And the point is, you're not really thinking. It's all about just self. Suicide is a self thing from my experience. So let me just share with you. At 11 years old, I remember sitting on the side of my mom's bed, going through bullying, so much pressure. So for those of you that are being bullied, there is hope. You can't out. You can come out of it. But the thing is, fear locks us in. A fear to hit back, a fear to fight back. It's a fear that sits with us. And as we get older and we outgrow all those things, we say, wow, I could have just did this and saved myself than have so much difficulty. So that's what happens and occurs. So this is what I want to say to you. When I was 11 years old, I remember between 10 and 11, because for a long time I had left my mind until somebody said, well, I wonder why that 9-year-old did that. And I go, me too. And then it hit me, it happened to you. You just didn't succeed. And I'm grateful that I didn't succeed. But suicide is in your thoughts. It's a thought set. It's in your mind. And you have to know it to experience it, to go through it, to really understand suicide. So at 11 years old, between 10 and 11, I was being bullied. And my mom had this thing in her house that what happened at home stayed at home. And she also said school was school and home was home. But that's not always the case when you're a child. You can go through fear when to say something and when not to speak. So don't think your child did not want to talk to you. It's the fear of how you react to how they talk to you. Because as adults in the day, they overreacted rather than just think and breathe and say, let's have this conversation. Because that conversation is really, really, truly very important to you. So I remember getting bullied, going through changes, never talking to anybody, but I came home smiling every day. But truly, I was constantly running. And I have a book out called Constantly Running that talks about being bullied and a combination of being bullied and a story that's put into a story so you can understand how to move beyond it. And even though you're being bullied, you still go to school every day. You still can do your work. How some people still can respond through bullying by getting their work done. So don't think there are signs. Sometimes there are no signs. I told my mother when I was much older of my experience, and she really felt bad. She was like, "Oh my God, you went through that," but I did. And so I said, they say we're stronger, we're strong kids, we know how to survive. But I think faith and other things get you through so much. So I remember being bullied. I came home and stood on the side of my mother's bed as I normally would do. And I was sitting there just thinking about my day, how fast I can run, how I can get home, because I wasn't a fighter. My mother just said, use your words. Didn't know what that meant till I got older, but if I knew if I had a fight, I would get in trouble. I didn't want to get in trouble. I ain't like getting a whooping. Sorry, in the days, 60s, you got a whooping. There wasn't nothing else to it. It wasn't no sit in the corner, no time out. You got a whooping. You was disobedient, you got punished. And that's the way it was in those days. And none of us became worse kids or anything worse. We just knew when somebody adult said something, you did something. And so I sat on the side of her bed and I sat there and I'm just going through changes. Like, I don't want to go to school. But my mother had this rule: school was every day. It wasn't when you wanted to. So I sat on the side of the bed and I looked over her table and there was this knife, a large, like some kind of pick. It looked like a screwdriver, but it wasn't a screwdriver. It was shorter and it was smaller. I never seen it before, never noticed it. And so I stood on the side of her bed, and it's like within my spirit, a voice said, but if you just kill yourself and plunge that through you, you have to never go through it. You don't have to worry. It'll all be over. Wow, you'll be free. And so I kept sitting there, and the voice was calming and smoothing, and it was just talking to me like, oh, they don't love you, don't worry about it. Everything was still negative that it was saying, but the voice was calming and smooth as if something you should do to yourself. And so I thought about it and said yes, and it just kept coming. I picked up the thing and I went to stab it through my heart, because it said if you plunge it through your heart, it'll be over and you don't have to worry about it. And this was the voices in my head was telling me. And so I sat and I was about to do it, and my mother called my name real, real loud. I'm telling you, I can remember it plain as day. She said, Doreen, Doreen. And I got scared and I threw the knife. I put the knife right back on the table and I ran in the kitchen. And she said to me, she said, Doreen, I'm so glad to have you. Thank God for your height. She said, girl, I need that Crisco over there on the top of the shelf. Do you need a chair? And I looked at her, forgot about my transaction, my transition of what I was trying to do. So I went and I automatically grabbed the Crisco from the top and gave it to her. And believe it or not, I forgot all about I ever tried to commit suicide. The whole thought left me. And I think it's because as I got older, my mother made me recognize my value right there between the ages of 10 and 11, that my height was part of me. It was my growth. It was who I was, and nothing can change me from being tall. So sometimes our obstacle is just something within our own shed. So therefore, I realized early there's something I needed to change. This is Doreen Burtz from Life Obstacles, just giving you one of the synopsis of what happened in my life. You can tune into Life Obstacles every Saturday or Sunday on 1490 AM, or you can tune in on 95.9 FM. We come on every Saturday and Sunday from 2 to 3 p.m. So tune in and listen to Life Obstacles as we walk you through those challenges that we go through every day. The Life Obstacle team consists of 4 people who have been through all types of trials and tribulation in their life. And the 4 team members come together to not only share their life experience, but you have someone you could talk to about your life experience. Because between the 4 of us, somebody has been through it, and we are there to listen to you. So the Life Obstacle team consists of J.R. Washington, who's our male figure, our male model, our operations manager, and he's known as the Life Builder. And then there's myself, Doreen Burtz, known as the Life Changer. There's Jerry Knight, known as the Life Engager, and Miss Brenda Vereen, who's known as the Life Enhancer. So make sure you tune in. If you have questions, you can dial our office at 216-916-9410 and share your obstacle. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you at Life Obstacles moving forward. And look for our magazine. It hits March 1st. It's Life Obstacles For You magazine. Make sure you get a copy of it. It'll walk you through all type of things, story that you said you want to hear about. All right, I'm really signing off this time. Take care.